everyone. I am Ashley Belcaress, and I'm the artistic director for Shaking the Table Theater Company. Right now, we are performing virtually, and will continue to do so throughout most of this season until it is safe. But in the meantime, thank you so much for being a part of our first show. This cast is absolutely incredible, and as sad as I am that I can't stick them on a stage right now, I'm incredibly grateful for our technical team, Haley and Steven Silvers and Ariana. They're just amazing, and I hope that you are reminded of how important the arts are. And we just want to thank you for being an arts hero, for being a supporter of local theater. Although who knows where you're zooming in from. Regardless, thank you for supporting theater. Thank you for supporting this cast. Your donations have been incredible. I mean, we are, I haven't even looked in a couple hours, so who knows, but I'm sure we're over $1,000. And with 17 people in the cast, I'm just really grateful that each and every one of you has contributed. The donations go 100% to the cast. Not me, I'm in the cast, but not me, and not our production team. That's what producers are for. But the donations are 100% to pay the cast. And I can speak for everyone when we share our gratitude to each and every one of you. With that, enjoy this epic show.
Okay, did you guys get the email Leonardo sent out?
I think.
Okay. Oh, and I just got another email. Okay. Oh.
Not from that is. Okay.
Okay.
I will set up a Zoom link meeting.
I'm going to email him back.
I have the link set up for later.
Okay.
And you have the other links for the afternoon meetings as well, Micah?
Yep, all good.
Got it. All right, let me drag this in here, and we should be good to go.
All right, and Zoom meeting is sent.
All right, everything's good.
Hi guys, how's everybody doing? Are we gonna finally talk about our
Good
PR,
morning.
our branding? I know that we're trying to move to something a little
in this email that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Los Angeles.
He is He is not 3 leagues off.
How many men have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort and none of name.
Well, a victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home good ratings. Oh, I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young up-and-comer called Claudio.
Much deserved on his part and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing, in the figure of a lamb, the feats of a lion. He hath indeed bettered expectation than you must expect of me to tell you how.
Yeah, well, he hath an uncle here in Los Angeles who will be very much glad of it.
I have already emailed him, and there appears much joy in him, even so much that joy could not show itself modest enough without a badge of bitterness.
Did he break out into tears?
In great measure.
Oh, a kind overflow of kindness. There are no faces truer than those that are so washed. Well, how much better to weep at joy than it is to joy at weeping.
I pray you. Is Senor Montanto returned from set, or no?
I know none of that name, lady, and there was none such in a cast of any sort.
Well, what is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Senor Benedict of Malibu.
Oh, he returned, and as pleasant as he ever was.
He set up his bills here in Los Angeles and challenged Cupid at the flight. And my aunt's fool subscribed for Cupid and challenged him at the Bird Bolt. I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these films? But how many hath he killed? For indeed, I promise to eat all his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Senor Benedict too much, but he'll be meet with you. I doubt it.
Good.
He hath done good service, lady, in these movies.
You had musty victual, and he hath helped you to eat it. He is a very valiant treacherman, okay? And he hath an excellent stomach.
And a good actor, too, lady.
And a good actor to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, and stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It, it is so, indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
Well, you must not, sir, mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Oh, Lassie gets nothing by that. Who is his companion now? Because he hath every month a new sworn brother.
It's possible.
Very easily possible. He wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat, it ever changes with the next block.
I see, lady, the gentleman is not in your books.
No. And he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young square now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord. Oh, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. Huh. I mean, if he's caught the Benedict, it'll cost him £1,000 or be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend, do.
Well, you will never run mad, my niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is online.
Madam Leonata, you are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter?
Her father hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, ma'am, that you asked him?
Signor Benedict, no, for then you were a child.
You have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly the lady mother's herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable mother.
If Lady Leonata be her mother, she would not have her head on her shoulders for all LA as like her as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What? My dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she hath such meek food to feed it to Signor Benedict? You know, courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat. But it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted, and I would I could find it in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
Oh, a dear happiness to women, because they would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God for my cold blood. I am of your humor for that. I'd rather hear a dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loved me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other may escape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse as to wear such a face as yours.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my car had the speed of your tongue, and so good a cunt in you were. But keep your way in God's faith, I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
Well, that is the sum of all, Leonata. Senor Claudio and Senor Benedict, my dear friend Leonata, hath invited you all. Tell her we shall stay here at the least a month, and she heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear she is no hypocrite, but prays from her heart.
Well, if you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
Thank you. I'm not of many words, but thank you.
Please it your grace, lead on.
Your hands, Leonata. We go together.
Benedict! Didst thou note the daughter of Lady Leonata?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do for my simple, true judgment, or would you have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Why, in faith, methinks she's too low for a high praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation can I afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome, and being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you would inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow, or do you play the flouting Jack to tell us Cupid is a good hair finder and Vulcan a rare carpenter? Come, in what key shall a man take you to go in the song?
In my eye, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and were she not possessed with a fury, exceeds her in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Come to this. Shall I never see a bachelor of 60 again? Go to in faith, and thou wilt needs thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Oh, look. Don Pedro is returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonata's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee, on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Claudio? I can be as secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so, but on my allegiance. Oh, mark you this, on my allegiance. He is in love. With who? Now, that's your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is with Hero, Leonata's short daughter.
If this were so it were uttered.
Oh, like the old tale, my lord, it is not so, nor 'twas not so, but indeed, God forbid it should be so.
If my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Well, amen if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my 2 faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her. I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy is an opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
That was ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part, but in force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks, but that I will have a recheat winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. Because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any, I will do myself the right to trust none, and the fine is, for the which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee ere I die look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove ever that I lose more blood with love than I get again with drinking, and prick out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, if ever thou dost fall from this faith, that will prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat and shoot at me.
Well, as time shall try. In time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them in my forehead, and let them be vilely painted, and in such great letters as they write, here is good horse to hire. Let them signify under my sign, here you may see Benedict, the married man.
If this should ever happen, thou wouldst be horn mad.
Nay, if Cupid had not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
I'll look for an earthquake too, then.
Well, you temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Signor Benedick, repair to Leonata's. Commend me to her, and tell her I will not fail her at supper. For indeed she hath made great preparation.
I have almost matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I commit you
to the tuition of God from my house, if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedict.
Nay, mock not, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometimes guarded with fragments, and the guards are but slightly basted on either. Ere you flout old ends any further, examine your conscience. And so, I leave you.
Oh, my liege, your highness now may do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonata any son, my lord?
No child but Hero. She's her only heir. Does thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord. When we went on location on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked but had a rougher task in hand, than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant, in their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
That will be like a lover presently, and tire the hearer with a book of words. If thou dost love, fair Hero, cherish it. And I will break with her and with her mother, and thou shalt have her. Was not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
Oh, how sweetly you do minister to love, that no loves grief by his complexion, but lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have solved it with a longer treatise.
Oh, what need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is the necessity. Look, what will serve is fit. 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair Hero I am Claudio. And in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then after to her mother will I break, and the conclusion is she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
How now, sister? Where is my nephew, your son? Hath he provided this music?
He is very busy about it. But, sister, can I tell you strange you yet dreamt not of?
Are they good?
As the event stamps them, but they have a good cover. They show well outward. The Prince and Count Claudio walking in a thick bleached valley in mine orchard were thus discovered, overheard by a man of mine. The Prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night at the party, and if he found her accordant, he may take the present time by the top and instantly break with you of it.
Hath the fellow any wit that told you this?
A good, sharp fellow. I will send for him and question him yourself.
No. We will hold it as a dream till it appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter with all, that she may be the better prepared for an answer, if peradventure this be true. Go you and tell her of it.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There's no measure in the occasion that breeds. Therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
Now I wonder that thou, being, as thou sayest, thou art born under Saturn, goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot help what I am. I must sleep. I must be sad when I have cause and smile at no man's jest. I must eat when I have stomach and wait on no man's leisure. I must sleep when I am drowsy and tend on no man's business, and laugh when I am merry and claw no man in his humor.
Yeah, but you must not make the full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath taken you newly into his grace, where it is impossible you should take true root but by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
Oh, I'd rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace, and it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In that, though I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man, it must not be denied that I am but a plain-dealing villain. I'm entrusted with a muzzle and enfranchised with a clog. Therefore I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. And if I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? What news, Baraccio?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonata, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Ah, Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
God, proper squire. And who? Which way looks he?
Mariana, a hero, the daughter and heir of Leonata.
Very forward march chick. How came you to this?
Well, being entertained for a perfumer as I was smoking a musty room, comes me the prince and Claudio hand in sad conference. I whipped me behind the arras, and there heard agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. And if I can crush him in any way, I can bless myself in every way. You are both sure, and you will assist me in this.
To the death, my lord.
Then let us to the great supper. Your cheer is the greater that I am subdued.
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Is not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never see him, but I'm heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
You know, he were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedict. So the one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
then half Senior Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Senior Benedict's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, and money enough in his purse. I mean, such a man would win any woman in the world if he could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed, and I shall lessen God's sending that way, for it is said that God sends a cursed cow short horns. But to a cow too cursed, he sends none. So,
by being too cursed,
yes,
God will send you no horns.
Just if he send me no husband, for the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I had rather lie in the woolen. There you go.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
Okay, and what should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore, I will even take 6 pence in earnest of the beard and deliver his apes to hell.
Well, then, go you to hell?
No. No, but to the gate. See, I'm drunk. Hold on. See, and there the devil will meet me like an old cuckold with horns on his head, and he'll say, "Get you to heaven, Beatrice. Get you to heaven. Here's no place for you maids." I don't know. So deliver I up my apes and away to St. Peter for the heavens, and he shows me where the bachelors sit. And there live we, merry as the day is long.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your mother.
Yes, Faith, it is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, "Mother, as it please you." But yet, for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, Mother, as it pleased me.
Well, my niece, I do hope to see you one day fitted with husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. But would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered with a fierce valiant dust, to make an account of her life to a clod of wayward marl? No, aunt, I'll none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly, I hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin. If you be not wooed in good time, if the prince be too important, tell him there is measure in everything, so dance out the answer. For hear me, hero, wooing, wedding, and repenting is as a Scotch jig, a measure, and a syncopace. So the first suit is hot and hasty, like a Scotch jig, and full as fantastical. And the wedding is mannerly and modest as a measure, full of state and ancientry. And then comes repentance, and with his bad legs falls into a syncopace faster and faster till he sinks in the grave.
Niece, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, aunt. I can see church by daylight.
Ah, the revelers are coming. Sister, make room. Masks on.
Lady, will you talk with your friend privately?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I'm yours for the talk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so when I please.
Oh, and when please you say so?
When I like your favor.
Speak low if you speak love.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would not I, for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. I mean, the hearers may cry amen.
Oh, God, match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God, keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
Oh, no more words. Oh, God, the clerk is answered.
I know you well enough. You are Lady Antonia.
At a word, I am not.
Nah, I know you by the waggling of your head.
To tell you true, I counterfeit her.
You can never do her so ill well, unless you were the very woman. Here's her dry hand up and down. You are she, you are she.
At a word, I am not.
Come, do I think I not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide it? So, go to mom. You are she, graces will appear, and there's an end.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
You shall pardon me.
Nor will you tell me who you are.
Not now.
That I was disdainful? Ugh. Oh, and then I had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales. Well, this was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester. A very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. Nuns but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers men. And then they laugh at him and beat him. I am sure he is in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He'll break a comparison or two on me, which peradventure not marked or not laughed at, strikes him into melancholy, and then there's a partridge wing saved, for the fool will eat no supper that night. We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I will leave them at the next turning.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn her mother to break with her about it. The ladies follow her, but one mask remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are not you Signor Benedict?
You know me well, I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is of no equal to his birth. And you may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too, and he swore he would marry her tonight.
So come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict, but hear this ill news with the ears of Claudio. This is certain. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch, against whose charm faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell then for Hero.
Count Claudio.
Yeah, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow. About your business, County. What fashion will you wear the garland of? About your neck like a usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your Hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Why, that's spoken like an honest drover, so they sell bullocks. But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me.
Oh, now you strike like the post. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
If it will not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now will he creep into sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me and not know me, the prince's fool. It may be I go under that name because I am merry. Yeah, but so I'm apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Now, Signor, where's the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady. And I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland as being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod as being worthy to be whipped.
Be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy, who being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
Wilt thou make a trust a transgression? The transgression is in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss. The rod had been made, and the garland too. For the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed on you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner.
If their singing answer your saying, by my faith, you say honestly.
The lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block, an oak, but with one green leaf on it would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like a man at a mark with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poignards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam had left him before he transgressed. She would have made Hercules have turned spit, yea, and have cleft his club to make the fire too. Come, talk not of her. You shall find her the infernal Ate in good apparel. I would to God some scholar would conjure her, for certainly while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary, and people sin upon purpose because they would go thither. So indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follow her.
Oh, look, here she comes!
Will your grace command me to any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the Antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker from the furthest inch of Asia, bring you the length of Prester John's foot, fetch you a hair off the great Sham's beard, do you any embassage to the pygmies, rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. Have you no employment for me?
Oh, none but to desire your good company.
Oh, God, sir. Here is a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Oh, come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it to me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry once before he won it of me with false dice. Therefore, your grace may well say I have lost it.
You put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me. My lord, at least I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought you Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why? How now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then, sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil, Count. Civil as an orange, or something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, lady, I think you're blazoned to be true. Though I'll be sworn, if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I broke with her mother, and her goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and a say grace amen to it.
Speak, Count. 'Tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. If I were but little happy, if I could say how much, lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give myself away for you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin. Or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let not him speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Oh, yea, my lord, I think it. Poor fool. Keeps on the windy side of care. Look, my cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth.
Good Lord for alliance. Thus goes everyone into the worlds but I, and I am sunburnt. I may sit in a corner and cry, hi-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I would rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace near a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands, if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord. Unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace. Pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no better.
Hmm. Your silence most offends me. And to be merry best becomes you, for at a question you were born in a merry hour.
No, sure, my lord. My mother cried. But then there was a star dance, and under that I was born. Oh, cousins. God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I asked you about?
I cry you mercy, aunt. By your grace's pardon.
A pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then, for I have heard my daughter say she hath often dreamed of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
It's true.
Not endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh no, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord! My lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
How now, Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches to love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence just a 7 night, and a time too brief, too, to have all things answer in my mind.
Come, you shake the head at so long a breathing. But I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Iron Man's labors, which is to bring Senor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one for the other. I would fain have it a match, and I doubt not but to fashion it, if you 3 will but minister such assistance as I shall give you direction.
Well, my lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero.
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopefullest husband that I know. Thus far, he is of a noble strain, of approved valor and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin, that she shall fall in love with Benedict. And I, with your 2 helps, will so practice on Benedict that, in despite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Go in with me, I'll tell you my drift.
Hey.
It is so that the Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonata.
Yeah, my lord, but I can cross it.
Not any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. Now, how canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Well, then show me briefly how.
Oh, I think I told your lordship years since how much I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out of her lady's chamber window.
And what life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
Well, the poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince, your brother, spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation do you mightily hold up to a contaminated stale, such a one as Hero.
Okay, and what proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and kill Leonata. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them, I will endeavor anything.
Oh, go then. Just find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hero, hear Margaret term me Claudio, and bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. For I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent. And there shall be such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
Grant this to an address issue it can. I will put it in practice. Be cunning in this, and thy fee. Thy fee. It's $1,000.
Screenplays.
2 screenplays.
5 screenplays.
5 screenplays.
Be you constantly accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
And I will go presently learn the day of marriage.
Boy!
My lord?
In the orchard lies a book. Bring it hither to me in my chamber.
But I am already here, sir.
I know that, but I would have thee hence and here again. I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music with him, but the drum and the fife, and now would he rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would walk 10 mile afoot to see a good armor, and now will he lie 10 nights awake carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose like an honest man and a soldier, and now is he turned to orthography, his words to a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I'll not be sworn on it, but love may transform me to an oyster, but till he hath made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich shall she be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color it please God. The prince and Monsieur Love. I will hide me.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Yeah, my good lord. How still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Benedict hath hid himself?
Oh, very well, my lord. The music's ended.
Come, Balthazar, we'll hear that song again.
Oh, good, my lord. Text not so bad a voice to slander music any more than once.
It is the witness still of excellency to put a strange face on his own perfection. I pray thee sing and let me woo no more.
Because you talk of wooing, I will sing. Since many a wooer doth commence his suit to her he thinks not worthy, yet he woos. Yet will he swear he loves
Now, pray thee come, or if that will hold longer argument, do it in notes.
Note this before my notes. There's not a note of mine that's worth the noting.
Why, these are very crotchets that he speaks. Notes, forsooth, and nothing.
Now, divine heir, now is his soul ravished? Well, a horn for my money when all is done.
Sigh no more, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever, 1 foot on sea and 1 on shore. To one thing constant never, then sigh not so, but let them go. You be blind, Bonnie.
I love this part here.
Sing no more ditties, I said sing no more of all these dumps so dull and heavy. We know the fraud of men has constantly been so, since summer first was leafy. Sigh no more, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever, 1 foot in sea and 1 on shore. To one thing constant never, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, hey, nani, nani.
By my troth, a good song.
Yes.
And an ill singer, my lord.
No, thou singest well enough for a shift.
And he had been a dog that had howled thus, they would have hanged him.
Gay, Mary, dost thou hear, Balthazar? I pray thee, get us some excellent music, for tomorrow night we would have it at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Leonata, what was it you told me of today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedict?
Oh, I did never think that lady would love any man.
No, nor I neither, but most wonderful that she should dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behavior seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
My lord, I cannot tell you what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought.
Well, maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh God, no, counterfeit. There was never counterfeit. Passion came so near the life of passion that she discovers it.
Well, why? What effects of passion shows she?
Oh, what effects, my lord! She will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
How? How, pray you? You amaze me. I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedict.
I should think this a gullible that the lady speaks at knavery cannot sure hide itself in such reverence.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and she swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true indeed. So your daughter says. Shall I, says she, that have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
Yes, this she says now when she is beginning to write to him. For she'll be up 20 times a night, and there she will sit in her smock till she have writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Yes. Oh, when she had writ it and was reading it over, she found Benedict and Beatrice between the sheet.
That!
Oh, and she tore that letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he writ to me. Yea, though I love him, I should.
Then, down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedick! God give me patience.
Yes, yes, she doth indeed. My daughter says so. And the ecstasy hath so overborne her that my daughter is sometime afeard she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
Well, it were good that Benedict knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end, my lord? He would but make sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
Fuck you.
Good. It were an alms to hang him. She's an excellent, sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedict.
Ah, my lord, wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body, we have 10 proofs to 1 that blood hath the victory.
I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have daffed all other respects and made her half myself. I pray you, tell Benedict of it, and hear what he will say.
Were it good, think you?
Hero thinks surely she will die, for she says she will die if he love her not, and she will die ere she make her love known, and she will die if he woo her rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. If she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it, for the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit. Well, I'm sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedict and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, nay, that's impossible. She will wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear further of it by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedict well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy so good a lady.
My lord, dinner is ready.
If he do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust on my expectations.
Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewomen carry. Let us send her to call him in to dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have the full bent love me. Why? It must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say too that she would rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that can hear their detractions and put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth, I can bear them witness, and virtuous. 'Tis so, I cannot reprove it, and wise, but for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. Oh, I may have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No! The world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her. What's that?
I said, against my will, I am sent to bid you come to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those things than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have called.
You take pleasure then in the message?
Yea, just as much as you take upon a knife's point and choke a draw withal. You have no stomach, senor? Very well.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. That's as much as to say any pains I take for you is as easy as thanks. If I do not pity her, I am a villain. If I do not love her, I am a fool. I will go get her picture.
Good Margaret, find my cousin Beatrice. Tell her I and Ursula are meeting here, and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us, and bid her join our meeting unseen. This is thy office. Bear thee well in it.
I'll make her come, I warrant you. Present.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, our talk must be only of Benedict. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedict is sick, in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid Arrow's crafty maid that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But
What are
are
you
you
talking about?
sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new betrothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedict, to wish him wrestle with affection and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why would you do so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full of fortune a bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn, right, sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. And therefore, certainly, it were not good. She knew his love, lest she take sport of it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw a man how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, but she would spell him backward. If fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister. If tall, a lance, ill-headed. If low, an agate, very vilely cut. If speaking, why a vein blown with all winds. If silent, why a block moved with none. So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such coppering is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd, and from all fashions as Beatrice is, it cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so?
Not I.
If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather I will go to Benedict and counsel him to fight against his passions. And truly, I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Oh, No, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without the true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse such a rare as gentleman as Signor Benedict.
Woo! Yes! Oh, sorry.
It's the only man of Los Angeles. Always accepted, my dear Claudio.
I pray you, be not angry with me. Speaking my fancy, Signor Benedict, for shape, for bearing, for argument and value, goes foremost in report through Hollywood.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it, ere he had it. When were you married?
Oh, why, every day tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
She is limed. I warned you. We have caught her.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some cupids kill with arrows, and some with traps.
Yes, this is Harry. Such a good movie. The earth has music for those who will listen. Who said that? Oh, shit. Okay, that's us. What? Memories? What? Fire is in mine ears. But can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much. Content? Farewell. I made him pride. Adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict. Love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. And if thou dost love, my kindest shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate, then go I towards Santa Monica.
Well, I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedict for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot he is all mirth. He hath twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstring, and the little hangman dare not shoot at him. He hath a heart as sound as a bell, and his tongue as the clapper, for what his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you look sadder.
Oh, I hope he be in love.
There's no true drop of blood in him that to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Draw it.
Hang it.
Oh, you must first hang it and draw it afterward.
What? Sigh for the toothache?
Where is but a humor or worm?
Well, everyone can master grief, but he that has it.
Yet say I, he is in love.
There's no appearance of fancy in him, unless it appears of fancy that he hath the strange disguises as to be a Dutchman today, a Frenchman tomorrow. Unless he have a fancy to this foolery as it appears he hath, he is no fool for fancy as you would have it appear he is.
If he be not in love with some woman, there is no believing old signs.
Hath any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him.
Indeed, he looks younger than he did.
That's as much to say the sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of it is his melancholy.
And when was he wont to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself, for the which I hear what they say of him.
Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is now crept into a lute string and now governed by stops.
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, he is in love!
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That would I know too, I warrant one that knows him not.
Yes, and his ill conditions, and in despite of all, dies for him.
Yet is this no charm for the toothache. Lady, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you, which these 2 hobby horses must not hear.
For my life to break with her about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice, and then the 2 bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good den, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, but yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
Oh, not that, when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
Now you may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me, by that I now will manifest. For my brother, I think that he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath hoped to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent and labor ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she. Leonata's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal?
No, the word is too good to pen out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. And wonder not till further warrant. Go but with me tonight. You shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her, but it would be better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know.
If I see anything tonight, what? I should not marry her tomorrow. In the congregation where I should wed, there I will shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no farther till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Day outwardly turned.
Oh, mischief, strangely thwarting.
On a plague, right well prevented. So will you say when you see the sequel.
Are you good and true?
Yeah. Or else it were pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, Dogberry.
Well, first, who think you the most desertless to be constable?
Hadley Oatcake, sir, or Amber Seacole, for they can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored woman is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable.
You have, I know, that would be your answer. You were thought here to be the most senseless and fit woman to be constable of the watch. Therefore, you will bear the lantern. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if they will not stand?
Why, then, take no note of him and let him go, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
And if he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. Now you shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We will rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman. For I cannot see how sleeping should offend, only have a care your bills be not stolen. Well, you are to call at all the alehouses, bid those that are drunk to get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Oh, well, why then, leave them alone till they are sober. If they make you not the better answer, well, you may say they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
Well, if you meet a thief, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man. And for such a kind of man, well, the less you meddle with him or make with him, why, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Well, truly, by your office you may, but I think those that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself for what he is and steal out of your company.
You have always been such a merciful man, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who has, well, any honesty in him. Now, this is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Nay, by Our Lady, I think I cannot.
Well, 5 shillings to 1 on it. Why, anyone that knows the statutes, he may stay him. Marry, not without the, prince's being willing, for, well, indeed, the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offense to try and stay a man against his will.
By Our Lady, I think it be so.
Yeah. Well, masters, good night. And if there be any matter of weight that chances, call me up. Keep your fellows' counsels and your own. Good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here upon the church bench until 2, and then all to bed.
One more word, honest neighbors. I pray you watch around Leonata's door. For the wedding being there tomorrow, there is a great coil tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant, I beseech you.
What, Conrad?
Peace. Stir not.
Conrad, I say.
Here, man. I am at thy elbow.
My elbow itched. I thought there would a scab follow.
I will owe thee an answer for that. And now, forward with thy tale.
All right. Stand thee close, then, under this penthouse, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Treason. Master, yet stand close.
Therefore know that I have earned of Don John 5 screenplays.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
I should ask if it were possible any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowest that the fashion of a doublet or a hat or a cloak is nothing to a man.
Yes, it is apparel.
I mean the fashion.
But yes, the fashion is the fashion.
I may as well say the fool's the fool. But seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is?
I know that, deformed. It has a vile thief this 7th year. It goes up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name!
Didst thou not hear somebody?
No, 'twas the vein on the house.
All right, just know that I tonight have wooed Margaret, the ladied hero's gentlewoman by the name of Hero. She leans me out at her mistress' chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. Oh yeah, I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the prince, Claudio, and my master planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John saw afar this amiable encounter.
Oh, and thought they Margaret was Hero?
2 of them did, the prince and Claudio, but the devil my master knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths which first possessed them, partly by the dark night which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made Away went Claudio enraged, swore he would meet her as he was appointed next morning, and there live before the entire world, shame her with what he saw overnight and her without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name, stand.
Call up the right master constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that ever was known in the Commonwealth.
And one deformed is one of them. I know him. He wears a lock.
Masters, there's no...
Forth, I warn you.
Masters, there's seriously...
Never speak. We charge you, let us obey you to go with us.
You like to prove a good commodity being taken of these men's cameras. Come on.
Commodity in question, I warn you. Come, we'll obey you.
of our break do you have left?
Few minutes.
Okay.
Hey, do you guys know about Bazar's new song?
Yes.
Yes.
You want to sing
So
it?
good.
Sure.
Yes.
Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever, one foot on sea and one on shore.
One thing constant never, and sigh not so, but let them go. Be your blithe and bonny.
Converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nani nani. That is hands down the best part of the song, and no one can tell me otherwise.
It's the greatest, definitely.
How are you guys doing? How do you feel about everything going on?
Ever since Don Pedro came back, it's just been crazy.
I agree.
Crazy. Normal.
Nothing bad on him. He's fantastic, and I adore him.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful actor. Wonderful director. Just
Yeah.
great. His brother is creepy. His brother is...
Right? Oh, I'm so glad I'm not the only one who thinks so. Okay. I think he's cool, I guess. You know, he's talented. He's smart, but
if we're talking about that friend group, we have two couples. We have obviously Claudio and
No.
Hero. What?
Two couples.
We have Claudio and Hero. Come on.
Yeah, we have Claudio and Hero. Best
Yeah.
couple around for sure. I love them. I would die for them. I want to have what they have.
Nothing bad will ever happen to them.
No, they're perfect. Nothing. Their wedding
Better not.
so well.
Yes.
Because of us, their wedding is going to be the best.
Their
But
wedding
we also
is going to be the
Their wedding is going to be gorgeous.
Nothing will go wrong. We have prepped for every possible
Everything.
scenario.
Yep.
We are good.
We're
It's
good.
so bad that we don't get
wait.
to actually like be a part of it, but we're recording it. That's
know.
important. That's important.
I'm just saying, I've said it before, I'll say it again. We should crash the wedding.
No,
What's the worst that could happen? What are they going to do? What are they going to do?
They
you
would
like Leonardo?
Okay, fair enough.
Very fair. Thank you.
Leonardo might kick our asses, but you know,
The other couple,
yes,
Benedict and Beatrice.
they are not a couple.
They are a couple.
They are not dating.
They are.
I wish they were, kind of, but also, can you imagine how much chaos that would ensue?
You mean how much chaos it already has?
It has
Okay, fair enough. They have an entire fan base dedicated to just them, and
They
it's wild.
But it's great. We love them. Okay, we love them.
really
We do
they're
love
good
them.
for each other, and I mean they talk about each other all the time. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I know.
It's an Elizabeth and Darcy situation, okay?
You're
They
right.
like each other. They just fight all the time.
All the time.
It
Nick never shuts up. He never shuts up ever about anything, but specifically about Beatrice. And
You're helping him. You've been helping him all week. What is that?
honestly, it's great in many ways because he's super cool and nice and, well, maybe not nice, but he's cool and he's doing his diddly darn best. I'll give him that. But, you know, I am just sick and tired.
You know, I wish we could work with more is Margaret and Ursula. They seem so cool.
They
I
are
agree.
really nice.
They are fantastic. They're
Less
so
drama.
cool.
But honestly, this whole family has so much drama.
Oh my
I feel like we have two different lives, okay? Our lives when we're working for Leonada's family, and then our lives when we're working for Vergis and Dogberry. Honestly, as ridiculous
Oh, yeah.
as it can be sometimes, they are
I love them. Vergis is so entertaining.
They're very-
Dogberry is a little bit insane. I think I don't know, but I love him.
he's talking to me because he goes off and it's
Honestly, oh my gosh, I
He's
love.
just very passionate.
Yeah. And Antonia, when we ever get to work with her, she's great too.
She is great.
Yes.
Beautiful. Fantastic.
Has the cutest dogs. Come on.
very cute.
Cutest dogs. Oh,
Question.
dog.
Question. Did any of you actually see Aragon?
No. Should we have? Probably, almost definitely.
I think we should have. I keep every time someone asks me if I've seen it.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, our break is over, so.
It is.
Okay. Wedding time.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
All right. Yes.
And bid her come hither.
I am. Chill.
Water were better.
No. Pray thee, good Meg. I'll wear this.
Wear my trough's not so good, and I warrant you, your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool and thou art another. I'll wear none but this.
I like the new tire within excellently. If the hair were a thought blonder, but gown's a most rare fashion in faith. I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praised so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
By my troughs, not but a nightgown in respect to yours. Lots of gold and cuts, and laced with silver, set with down sleeves, side sleeves, and skirts, round underbone with a pencil, but for a fine, quaint, and graceful and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10.
Oh, well, God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
Will be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee! Art not ashamed?
Ashamed? Of what? Of speaking honorably? Is marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence, a husband, and bad thinking do not rest, true speaking. I'll offend nobody. Is it harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think, if it be the right husband and the right wife. Otherwise, 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my Lady Beatrice. Here she comes.
Good morrow, cuz.
Oh, awaken.
Good morrow. How now? Do you speak in the sick tune?
I am all out of other tunes, methink.
Claps into light of love. That goes without a burden. You do sing it, and I'll dance it.
'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. By my troth, I am exceedingly ill.
Wow. A horse or a husband?
Oh, for the letter that begins them all. What means the fool?
Nothing I, but God sent everyone their heart's desire.
These gloves the Count sent me. They are of an excellent perfume.
Oh, I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
Oh.
Made and stuffed? There's goodly catching of a cold.
Oh, God help me. God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Ever since you left it. My wit become me rarely.
Oh, it is not seen enough. You should wear it in your cap, by my troth. I am sick. COVID?
This distilled Quartus Benedictus. Only thing for a qualm.
There thou prickest her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? Ugh, there's some moral in this Benedictus.
Moral? Not by my troth. I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You think perchance that I think you are in love? Nay, by a lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not to think what I can, nor indeed I cannot think, if I would think my heart out of thinking, that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet, Benedict was such another, and now he has become a man. He would never marry, and yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Ladies, withdraw. The prince, the count, and Signor Benedictus, Don John, and all the gallants. I'll come you to church.
Bye.
Help to dress me. Good cuz. Good Meg. Good Ursula.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for it is a busy time with me.
Marry. This it is.
Yes, in truth it is.
Yes, what is it, my good friends?
Burgess, well, she speaks a little bit off the matter. A millennial. With her wits not so blunt as God help, I would desire they were, but in faith as honest as the skin between her two brows.
Oh, yes. I thank God I am honest as any woman living that is a young woman and no honester than I am.
Comparisons are odious, neighbor Vergis.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so, but we are the two poor duke's managers. But truly, for mine own part, if I was as tedious as a king, I would find it in my heart to bestow it all on your worship.
All thy tediousness on me.
Oh, yeah. 'Twere £1,000 more than it is, for I hear good exclamation on your worship as any person in the city. And though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
Oh, and so am I.
Yeah, but I would fain know what you have to say.
Oh, on our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, has taken a couple of as errant knaves as in all Los Angeles.
Burgess, she will be talking, as they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it is a world to see now. An honest soul, in faith, ma'am, by my troth, she is as ever broke bread, but God is to be worshipped. We are not not all the women are alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed. Neighbor.
Gifts that God gives.
Well, I must leave you now.
Well, one word, ma'am. Our watch has indeed comprehended two auspicious persons, and we would have them before you this morning, examined before your worship.
Well, no, take their examination yourself and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it might appear unto you.
It shall be suffragettes.
Yes. Okay, drink some wine. Here you go. Fare you well.
My lady, they say for you to give your daughter to her husband.
Oh, I'll wait upon them. I'm ready.
Go, good partner, go. Get you to Seacole, bid her bring her pen and inkhorn to the jail. We are to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
And we shall spare for no wit. I warrant you. Here's some drive that will drive them to a non-com. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
Come, nephew, but be brief, only to the plain form of marriage. and you shall recount their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady?
No.
To be married to her. You come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count?
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
Well, I dare make his answer. None.
What men may do, what men dare do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do.
How now, interjections.
Stand thee by, my friend. Mother, by your leave, will you, with free and unconstrained soul, give me this maid your daughter?
Well, as freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back? Whose worth may counterpose this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonata, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but a sign and semblance of her honor. Behold, how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid, by these exterior shows, but she is none? She knows the heat of a luxurious bed, her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married. Not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you, in your own proof, have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made it a defeat of her virginity...
I know what you would say. If I have known her, you would say she did embrace me as a husband, and so externate the forehand sin. No, Leonata. I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee! Seeming, I will write against it. You seem to me as Diane in her orb, or as chaste as is the bud ere it be blown, but you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
It is my lord well that he doth speak so wide.
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that I've gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
They are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True!
Obviously.
God!
Leonata, stand I here. Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face, heroes? Are our eyes our own?
All of this is so, but what of this, my lord?
Let me but move one question to your daughter, and by that motherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
Hero, I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
God defend me! I am beset. What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Marry, that can hero. Hero itself can blot out hero's virtue. What man was he talked with you yesternight in private betwixt 12 and 1? Now, if you are a maid, answer this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then are you no maiden? Leonata, I'm sorry you must hear. Upon mine honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian in the open air, who hath indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they've had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie. They are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of. There is not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovern.
Oh, hero, what a hero hadst thou been if half thy outward graces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair, farewell. Though pure in piety and pious in purity, for thee I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang to turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it more be gracious.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
Hero, how now, cousin?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Mother her spirits up.
Really?
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. Help! I mean, and Hero, this is Senior Benedict.
Fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
How now, cousin?
Have comfort, cousin.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Would she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, Hero. Do not open thine eyes. For did I think thou wouldest not die quickly, thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames, myself would on the rearward of reproaches strike at thy life. Grieved I had but one? Chid I for that at nature's frame? Oh, one too much by thee. Why had I one? Why ever was thy lovely in mine eyes? Why had I not with charitable hand took up a beggar's issue at the gates, and who smirched in thus an infamy, and might I have said, no part of that is mine, this shame derives itself from unknown loins. But mine, and mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine that I was proud on, and mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine. Valuing her, she has fallen into a pit of ink that the wide sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little, which may season to give to her foul-tainted flesh.
Be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder, I know not what to say.
On my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, I mean, truly not. Although that until last night, I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Oh, confirm it. Oh, that is stronger maid which was before barred up with ribs of iron. Would the two princes lie, and Claudio lie, who loved her so that, speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die.
Hear me a little. For I have only been silent so long, and given way unto this course of fortune. By noting of my dearest cousin, I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face. 1,000 innocent shames and angel whiteness beat away those blushes. And in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn the errors that these princes hold against her maiden truth. You know what, call me a fool. Trust not my reading nor my observations, with which experimental seal doth warrant the tenor of my book. Trust not my age, my reverence, calling, nor divinity. If this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some biting error.
Nephew, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace that she hath left is that she will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She not denies it.
Hero, what man is he you're accused of?
They know that to accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, then let all my sins lack mercy. My mother, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprision in the princes.
Two of them have the very bent of honor, and if their wisdom's been misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. But if they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it. Time hath not yet so dried this blood of mine, but they shall find awakened in such a kind both strength of limb and policy of mind, ability and means, and choice of friends to quit me of them thoroughly.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here the prince is left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is cancelled indeed.
Shall become of this? What will this do?
Mary, this well carried shall on her behalf change slander to remorse, and that is some good. But not for that dream I on this strange course, but on this travail look for greater birth. She dying, as it must so be maintained upon the instant that she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. For it so falls out that what we have we prize not to the worth whilst we enjoy it, but being lacked and lost, why then we rack the value. Then we find the virtue that possession would not show us whilst it was ours. So will it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come apparelled in a more precious habit, more moving and delicate and full of life, into the eye and prospect of his soul than when she lived indeed. What then shall he mourn? Let this be so, and doubt not but success will fashion the event in better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood. But if all aim but this it be levelled false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy. And if it sort not well, you may conceal her as best befits her wounded reputation.
Leonata, let Balthazar advise you. And though you know my inwardness and love is very much unto the prince and Claudio, yet by mine honor I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
That I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
It's well consented. Presently away. Come, cousin. Die to live. This wedding day is perhaps but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
Strange is a thing I know not. Where is possible for me to say I love nothing as well as you? But believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing, and I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it, I protest I love thee.
Why then, God, forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to profess I love you.
Do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Huh? not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, sweet.
No, I am gone. Though I am here, there is no love in you. Nay, I pray you let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
Oh, you dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy?
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height a villain that hath slandered, scorned, and dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! Let bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor. Oh, God, that I were a man. I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Not to bed a man out a window, a proper sin.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Sweet hero, she is wronged. She is slandered. She is undone.
Beatrice.
Princes and counties, surely a princely testimony, a goodly Count Compact, a sweet gallant, surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake. Or that I had any friend who would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into curtsies, valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongue, and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules, that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore, I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice, by this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead, and so farewell.
Boss?
Our whole assembly appeared.
Oh, a stool and a cushion for the sexton?
Which be the malefactors?
Marry, that am I. Oh, and my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
No, but which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Baraccio.
Please write down Baraccio. Yours, Sarah?
I'm a gentleman, sir, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yeah, sir, we sure hope.
Well, write down that they hope they serve God. But write God first, for God defend, but God should go before such villains. Masters, it is already proven that you are little better than false knaves. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
A marvelous witty fellow, I assure you, but I will go about with him. Come you hither, sirrah. A word in your ear. I say to you, it is thought you are false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Well, stand aside. For God, they are both in a tale. Have you writ that down, that they are both none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, marry, that is the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you, in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Oh, write that down. The prince's John a villain. Why, that is flat perjury to call a prince's brother villain.
Mr. Producer, come on.
Spare thee, fellow. Peace. I do not like thy look.
And what heard you him say else?
Mary, that he received 5 screenplays of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
Yeah, by mass, that it is.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did mean, upon his words, to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain, thou wilt be condemned to everlasting redemption for this.
And what else?
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused it, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonata's. I will go before and show her the examination.
Come, take them away. You two will never work in this town again.
Let them be in hands.
No, oh my God, you are fools!
God's my life, where's the sexton? Let him write down the prince's officer fool. Come, bind them. Oh, naughty varlet.
You are an ass.
Yeah.
You are an ass!
Yeah.
Well, dost thou suspect my place? Dost thou suspect my years? Oh, that if he were here to write down me an ass. But masters, remember that I am an ass, though it not be written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. No, thou villain, thou art full of piety, as shall be proved upon thee by good witnesses. I am a wise fellow, and which is more, a producer, and which is more, a householder, and which is more, as pretty a piece of flesh as any in Los Angeles, and one who knows the law. Go to. And one who is rich enough, go to, and a fellow that hath had losses, and one that has had 2 gowns, and everything about him, bring him away. Oh, that I had been written down an ass?
You go on thus, you will kill yourself, and 'tis not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself.
I pray thee, cease thy counsel, which falls into mine ears as profitless as water in a sieve. Give not me counsel, nor let no comforter delight mine ears, but such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me a mother who so loved her child, whose joy of her is overwhelmed like mine, and bid her speak patience. And let it answer every strain for strain, in every lineament, branch, shape, and form. If such a one will smile, bid sorrow wag, cry a hem when she should groan, patch grief with proverbs, make misfortune drunk with candle wasters, bring her yet to me, and I of her will gather patience. But there is no such woman. A woman can counsel and speak comfort to that grief which they themselves not feel, but tasting it, their counsel turns to passion, which before would give perceptio medicine to rage, and fetter strong madness in a silken thread, charm air, ache with air, and agony with words. No, 'tis all men's office to speak patience to those who wring under the load of sorrow, but no man's virtue, nor sufficiency to be so moral when she shall endure the like herself. Therefore give me no counsel. My griefs cry louder than advertisement.
Therein do women from children nothing differ.
I pray thee, peace.
Yet bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me Hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know. So shall the prince and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here comes the prince and Claudio hastily.
Den? Good den?
Good day to both of you.
Hear you, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonata.
Oh, some haste, my lord. Well, fare you well, my lord. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us.
If she could, right with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs her?
Marry, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler, thou. Nay, never lay thy hand upon thy sword. I fear thee not.
Mary, bestrew my hand if it should give your age such cause to fear. In faith, my hand meant nothing to my sword.
Man never fleer or jest at me. I speak not like a dotard nor a fool, as under privilege of age to brag what I have done being young, or what would do were I not old. No, Claudio, to thy head, thou hast so wronged my innocent child and me, that I am forced to lay by my reverence, and, with gray hairs and bruise of many days, do challenge thee to a trial of a man. I say thou hast belied my innocent child. Thy slander has gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors in a tomb where never scandal slept, save this of hers, framed by your villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, old lady.
Oh, my lord, I will prove it on his body if he dare.
Away! I will not have to do with you.
Oh, canst thou not so daff me? Thou hast killed my child. If thou killest me, boy, thou shalt kill a woman.
He shall kill two of us, but that's no matter. Let him kill one first. Win me and wear me. Let him answer me. Come, follow me, boy. Come, sir boy, come, follow me. Sir boy, I'll whip you from your foining fence. Nay, as I am a lady, I will.
Sister, please.
Content yourself. God knows I loved my niece, and she is dead, slandered to death by villains that dare as well answer a man indeed as I dare take a serpent by the tongue. Boy, thieves, braggarts, jacks, milksops.
Antonia.
Hold you content. What, man? I know them, yea, and what they weigh even to the utmost scruple, scrambling out, facing fashion-monging boys that lie and cog and full out, deprave and slander, go antically, show outward hideousness, and speak off half a dozen dangerous words, how they might hurt their enemies if they durst, and this is all.
Okay, but
Come, 'tis no matter, but do you not meddle. Let me deal in this.
Gentlewomen both, we will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on mine honor she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord.
I will not hear you.
No. Come, sister, away. I will be heard.
And shall, or some of us will smart for it.
Oh, see? Here comes the man we went to seek.
Now, Signor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, Signor. You are almost come to part almost a fray.
In a false quarrel there is no true valor. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side? As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
Sir, I shall meet your wit in the career, and you charge it against me. I pray you choose another subject.
By this light he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
Claudio, shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
Sir, your wit ambles well, it goes easily.
I'll tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wit the other day. I said thou hast a fine wit. True, said she, a fine little one. No, said I, a great wit. Right, says she, a great, gross one. Nay, said I, a good wit. Just, said she, it hurts nobody. Nay, said I, the gentleman is wise. Certain, said she, a wise gentleman. Nay, said I, he hath the tongues. That I believe, said she, for he swore a thing to me on Monday night, which he forswore on Tuesday morning. There's a double tongue, there's two tongues. Thus did she an hour together transshape thy particular virtues. Yet at last she concluded with a sigh, thou wast the properest man in Los Angeles.
For the which she wept heartily and said she cared not.
Yea, that she did, but yet for all that, and if she did not hate him deadly, she would love him dearly. Hero told us all.
All, and moreover, God saw him when he was hid in the garden.
But when shall we set the savage bull's horns on the sensible Benedict's head?
Yeah, in the undertext, here dwells Benedict, the married man.
My lord, I must discontinue your company. Your brother the bastard is fled from Los Angeles. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Lackwit there, he and I shall meet. Until then, peace be with him.
He's in earnest.
In most profound earnest, and I'll warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
But soft you, let me be. Pluck up my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother was fled?
Come ye, sir. If justice cannot tame you, she shall ne'er weigh more reasons in her balance. Nay, you can be a cursing hypocrite once. You must be looked to.
How now, two of my brother's men bound? Borachio one.
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Well, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanderers. Sixth, and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, I ask thee what's their offense. Sixth, and lastly, why they are committed. And to conclude, what do you lay to their charge?
Rightly reasoned and in his own division. And by my troth, there's one meaning well suited.
Who have you offended that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned man is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer, and do you hear me? Just let this count kill me. I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light. When the knight overheard me confessing to this man, how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the lady Hero, how you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Hero's garments, how you disgraced her when you should marry her. Look, my villainy that I have upon record, which I had rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation, and briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he utters it.
But did my brother set thee onto this?
Yeah, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
Oh, he is composed and framed of treachery and fled, he is upon this villainy.
Sweet hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved it first.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time, the sexton has reformed Leonata of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify, when time and place serve, that I am an ass.
Oh, here comes Lady Leonata and the sexton too.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes. Which of these is he?
If you'd look your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath has killed mine innocent child?
Yeah, even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. The third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princess, for my daughter's death, recorded with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet I sinned not but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor I, and yet to satisfy this good woman, I would bend under any heavy weight that she'll enjoin me to.
Well, I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both, possess the people in Los Angeles here how innocent she died. Tomorrow morning, come to my house, and since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My sister hath a daughter, almost the copy of my child that's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer and dispose for henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow, then, I will expect you coming. Tonight, I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul she was not, nor knew not what when she spoke to me, but always hath been just and virtuous in anything that I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which indeed is not under white and black, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment. Pray you, examine him upon this point.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverend youth, and I praise God for you.
There's for thy pains.
Ooh la la! God save the foundation.
Oh, go now. I can discharge you of thy prisoner, and I thank you.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. And I humbly give you leave to depart. And if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, Burgess.
Well, until tomorrow, my lords, farewell. Antonia, what did you say?
Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Tonight I'll mourn with Hero.
Bring you these fellows on. We'll talk with Margaret how her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
Pray thee, sweet Mistress Margaret, deserved well at my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write a sonnet of praise in my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it, for in most comely truth thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me? Ha! Why then shall I always be kept below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth it catches.
And yours as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret, it will not hurt a woman. And so I pray thee, call Beatrice, I give thee the bucklers.
Give us the swords. We have bucklers of our own.
If you use them, Margaret, you must put in the pikes with a vice, because they are dangerous weapons for maids.
Well, I will call Beatrice to you, who, I think, hath legs.
And therefore will come.
Gross.
The God of love, who sits above. I mean in singing, but in loving, Leander, the good swimmer, Troilus, the first employer of panders, and a whole book full of these quondam carpetmongers, whose names yet run smoothly in the even round of blank verse, why, they were never so truly turned over and over as my poor self in love. Marry, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find no other rhyme for lady, but baby, an innocent rhyme. For scorn, horn, a hard rhyme, and for school, fool, a babbling rhyme. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo in festival terms. Wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, Senor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well now.
Oh, Beatrice. Beatrice?
Yeah, there I go. Let me go with what I came, which is with knowing what hath passed between you and Claudia.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Ah, foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of his right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. And I pray thee now tell me, for which of my bad parts did thou first fall in love with me?
For all of them together, which maintain so politic a state of evil, I will not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, a good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I do love thee against my will.
Ah, in spite of your heart. I think, alas, poor heart, if you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours. For I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I were too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in this confession. There's not one wise man among 20 that will praise himself.
Tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill, too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. There will I leave you, for here comes one in haste.
Oi, lady, you must come to your aunt's. It is proved my lady hero has been falsely accused. The prince and Claudio are mightily abused, and Don John is the author of it all, who is fed and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you come hear this news, Senor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thine eyes, and moreover, I will go with thee to thine aunt's.
Is this the protest of Hero?
It is, my lord.
Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that I love. Death, in guerdon of her wrongs, gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hang thou there upon the tomb, praising her when I am dumb. Now music sound. Now unto thy heart, good night. Yearly I will do this right.
Come, let us hence and put on other weeds. And then to Leonato's we will go.
And Hymen now with luckier issue speed than this for whom we rendered up this woe.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
Yes, so are the prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the error that you heard debated. But Margaret was in some fault for this, although against her will, as it appear in the true course of all question.
Well, I am glad that all things sort so well.
And so am I, being else by faith enforced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all, withdraw into chambers by yourselves, and when I send for you, come hither masked. The prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. You know your office. You must be mother to your sister's daughter, and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Balthazar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, Bidick?
To bind me or undo me, one of them. Leonata, truth it is your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
Well, that I, my daughter, lent her, 'tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio, and the prince. But what you will.
Your answer, ma'am, is enigmatical. But for my will, it is that your goodwill may stand with ours, this day to be conjoined in the the honorable state of marriage, in which, good Balthazar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Oh, here comes the prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry my sister's daughter?
I'll hold my mind.
Call her forth. Here's the nephew and friar ready.
Good morrow, Benedict. Why, what's the matter that you have such a February face? So full of frost, of storm and cloudiness.
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, fear not, man. We'll tip thy horns with gold, and all Europa shall rejoice at thee, as once Europa did a lusty Jove, when he would play the noble beast in love.
Bull Jove, sir, had an amiable low, and some such strange bull leapt your father's cow and got a calf, and the same noble feet much like to you, for you have just his bleat.
For this I owe you. Here comes other reckonings. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
The same is she, and I do give you her.
Why, then she is mine, sweet, let me see your face.
No, not. You shall not. Not until you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand before this holy friar. I am your husband, if you'll like of me.
When I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero?
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live. And as surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero that is dead.
She died, my lord, but whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify. When after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonders seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Soft and fair, which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no. No. No more than reason.
Why then your uncle and the prince and Claudio have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
No more than reason.
Why, then my cousin, Margaret, and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore that you were almost sick for me.
Well, they swore that you were well nigh dead for me.
Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me?
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Aw.
Oh, come on, niece. I'm sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon that he loves her, for here's a paper written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, written in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedict.
Miracle. Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light I take thee for pity.
Oh!
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
I'll tell you what, Prince. A college of wit crackers cannot flout me out of my humor. Dost thou think I care for a satire or an epigram? No. If a man will be beaten with brains, he shall wear nothing handsome about him. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it, and therefore never flout at me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but in thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin.
Well, I had well hoped thou wouldst have denied, Beatrice, that I might have cudgelled thee out of thy single life, to make thee a double dealer, which out of question thou wilt be, if my cousin do not look exceedingly narrowly to thee.
Come, we are friends. Let's have a dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our own hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterwards.
First of my word. Therefore play music. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife.
Well, hey.
Hey. My lord, your brother John is taken a flight and brought back with armed men to Los Angeles.
Think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise the brave punishments for him. So, strike up, pipers.